Signing new clients as a video editor is actually not that difficult. But the chances are that you watching this video are probably using the same outdated methods that we were all using to sign video editing clients in 2020. These methods are as outdated and ran through as Riley Reid. So in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can sign new video editing clients step by step in 2026. And this is the exact same method that I've used to consistently sign clients all year and generate over $130,000 in revenue from just editing videos. So let's get straight into it. But before we do, drop me a follow so I can help more video editors make more money. So there's a high chance that you right now don't even know where to find video editing clients. You might be going on platforms like Fiverr and Upwork and all of these outdated sites. But in 2026 and in 2025, there is a new updated method of finding clients. And we are going to do it all on Twitter. If you don't use Twitter right now, whether that's for your personal brand or finding clients, then you are missing out as a video editor. For video editors, Twitter is just one ginormous hiring board right now. And if you're not on there, then you are letting new clients slip through your fingers every single day. So it's essential that you are optimizing it and using it correctly if you want to sign more clients. Now, we're going to use Twitter for 3 core things, and I'm going to cover all of them in this video. So we're going to use Twitter for 1, branding yourself and building a portfolio. 2, actually finding jobs and finding people that are hiring editors. And 3, actually outreaching to those clients and sending DMs. In the early stages of video editing, you can literally wholly rely on Twitter. It's super easy and it's a really, really great way to get your foot in the door, get those first few clients and scale to that first like 1 to 2K a month mark range. But before we start signing clients and before we start sending outreach messages, we need to learn how to brand ourselves correctly so when potential clients click onto our profile, we have tons of authority and people trust us from the get-go. When we send an outreach message, the first thing a potential client is going to do is click on our profile and look at who we are. And if our profile looks cheap or crappy or scammy, or it looks like we're faking our work, they're going to click away straight away and find another video editor. But don't worry, because I'm about to show you exactly how to brand yourself correctly on Twitter. So let's take a look at how we can brand ourselves correctly and some really good examples of good branding that I have found. So I'm going to break down exactly how you can brand yourself on Twitter to stand out and become an authority figure in your niche. One huge thing that editors forget is the fact that they need their own brand. Although their video editing may be good and a Discord profile kind of works, if you have a really strong personal brand on Twitter and you are known for video editing, you don't have to go and outreach clients. Clients are going to come to you. So let's get straight into it and let me show you exactly how you can brand yourself well on Twitter. Now, there's a few things that you want to focus on when it comes to branding on Twitter. And the first one is obviously your profile picture. Now, you don't need your profile picture to be an insane photograph or anything crazy. You ideally just want it to be a picture of yourself. If you look at content creators like Alex Hormozi and Iman Gadzhi, there's nothing special about their profile picture, but it is recognizable because they don't change it. This is an amazing bit of advice that I got from a really famous agency owner called Ayman Arab. Now, he gave me this bit of advice and he just said, pick a profile picture and never change it because you become recognizable from your profile picture. People will recognize it again and again and again. If you're consistently popping up in their feed and people are engaging with your posts, they're going to recognize your profile picture. And if you're constantly changing it, then they're going to forget who you are. So it's not about having the fanciest profile picture. It's just about picking one, making it look clean, and then sticking with it for a long time because that profile picture will build brand reputation. As you can see, there's nothing special about my profile picture. There's nothing special about Aman's, and there's nothing special about Faris's profile picture. But one thing that they have done is picked a profile and never changed it. Now, the next bit of branding that we can focus on is your banner. Now, your banner doesn't really matter, but again, it does just need to look clean and it does need to look sleek. Now, as you can see, I'm using mine to promote my education course, but content creators and editors like Aman aren't really doing anything fancy with their bio. You can see Aman just has a clean looking photo and Faris just has another sort of clean looking photo that's kind of like editing related. Your banner doesn't need to be anything special, but it does just need to stand out. It does need to look clean and it does kind of need to indicate like who you you are and what you do. If you want to put some text on there and say like helping content creators make more money, or whatever you want to put on there, video editor, that's absolutely fine as long as it looks clean, sleek, and it matches your overall branding. Now, one massive thing that you will notice across all of these 3 examples that I've got here is that every single editor is verified. Now, verification on Twitter is one of those things where it doesn't really matter, but at the same time it does. Because when clients look at your profile, they're gonna see the verified badge and they're gonna understand that you're spending £10 a month to verify yourself on Twitter and to make you stand out. And when comparing yourself to other editors, probably 95% of editors don't get a verified badge. So if you have one, you are just immediately gonna stand out for less than the price of a couple of coffees a month. So get verification because it will make your profile stand out just that little bit more. Now, the final thing that I'm gonna go over when it comes to branding is your bio. And your bio is probably more important than you think. Your bio is a way of conveying who you are and what you do and how you're going to help these content creators. So use it wisely. Now, as you can see, every single account here and every single example I've got has a very different style of bio, but they all do the same thing. I use a simple 3 times example where I use a I help sentence, I then have some sort of testimonials, and then I also have a call to action. Now, I always recommend new people when branding on Twitter to use an I help sentence because it's such an easy way of getting across who you are and how you can help people. Now, if you don't know what an I help sentence is, it's literally just this sentence that I have at the top here, where I say helping video editors make more money. So you could put helping content creators improve their videos, helping content creators increase their retention, helping content creators make more money. Whatever it is that you want to focus on helping, you just want to make sure that you have that sentence in the top of your bio. So as soon as somebody clicks onto your profile, they see exactly what you do. The next thing that you want to do is include some sort of testimonial. Now, I referenced that my agency here, but if you are like Aman, you can put who you've worked with. So as you can see, he's worked with Project Supreme, Termins, and Jiley and Alex. Now, all this does is it builds trust from the get-go because you can go ahead and click on to the previous people that Aman has worked with and review the videos that they have made. It's just another great way of building trust and showing who you are and who you've worked with. Now, Faris doesn't do this at all, and he just instantly links to his portfolio, which overall I wouldn't recommend, but it still works and it's still a good idea. Now, the final thing that no one except me uses is a call to action. Now, I started a call to action when I first developed my Twitter profile like over 1.5 years ago, and since then I've signed like at least 2 or 3 clients just through using that call to action. So I used to have DM me sample for a free video edit. Now I have DM me value for my access to my community, but you can use DM me sample to see my portfolio, or DM me video to get a free sample. Whatever it is that you want to put, having a call to action in your bio is going to help you massively. So at this point, you should probably know exactly how to brand yourself to look nice and stand out on Twitter. The next thing that I want to go over is replacing your portfolio for Twitter posts. Now, you can always build yourself like an online portfolio with Card or like some sort of outbound software, but I would massively recommend just using your Twitter as your portfolio. As we can see here, Aman has posted an intro of a video that he worked on, that he designed. He's got this cool setup with the project file and then the actual video playing, and the most important thing about this post is the fact that it's got over 200 likes and 11k impressions. That is 11,000 people that may want to work with you that are seeing this video. He could have just posted this on his portfolio, and he probably did post the full video on his portfolio. But by posting this short breakdown video, he is able to get in front of new potential clients every single day. This content is evergreen and it will continue to get pushed out, and every single time a new potential client clicks onto his profile, they are going to see his work straight away, and this builds trust massively. Now, you can see that Faris does the exact same thing, and he got an even better response. With a post that he made back in January 14, he did his editing versus Iman Ghazi's editing, and you can see that this post got over 300 likes and 20k impressions. Now, the one thing that I can say that was so successful about this post is that I actually ended up hiring Faris as one of my video editors because of this Iman Ghazi post. Clients are so much more likely to work with you if they can consistently see you posting work. So instead of dedicating all of your time to making a landing page and a portfolio, just focus on branding yourself and reposting your content on Twitter consistently. As I said, tons of editors are going to create like an outbound portfolio or landing page, but you simply don't need to do that, and it's a waste of your time. Instead of spending £30 a month on Card, Behance, or any of those platforms, just pay for verification on Twitter and post all of your content repeatedly on Twitter and treat Twitter as your portfolio, because you can get engagement, likes, and get in front of new clients at the exact same time as creating your portfolio. So at this stage, you should now have a pretty well optimized and pretty decent looking Twitter account. So now when we do send our outreach messages, our potential clients are going to see us as an authority figure and not just some random editor. So now we're going to move on to actually finding clients to outreach to and finding jobs that we can apply for. Now, depending on your offer and your niche and who you're trying to reach out to, this could differ massively. But to make things simple, instead of actually going out and sourcing leads, we're just going to reply to the many job adverts that are already available for us to apply to on Twitter. Now, there's a little bit of a hack to finding these job adverts, so let me walk you through that now. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is navigate over to Twitter. Now, when you're on Twitter, you want to go to the search bar and literally just search hiring video editor. From here, we can start to go through all of the adverts that are being sent up for finding video editors. Now, if you've just made your Twitter and you've got a brand new account, all I want you to do is go down and like every single one of these posts. As you can see, we're looking for an editor that can be full-time with our team, hiring a video editor, hiring shorts editor, I'm hiring a full-time real estate video editor. All you need to do is go down and like every single one of these posts, and you are going to get these recommended to you every single time you open Twitter. And that means that Twitter isn't just some crappy place that you go to look at conspiracy theories. Now it is somewhere that is consistently showing you new jobs and getting you closer to signing clients as a video editor. Now, you might be sitting there going, okay, Henry, so I've found all of these video editor ads, but how do I actually respond to them to stand out? Now, outreach is probably one of the most important things that we're going to cover in this video, and I can tell you that from experience. I run a content agency, and every single month, I inevitably end up hiring a new video editor to join my team. I've gone through thousands of applications, I've read hundreds of DMs, and it was only because of that I was able to identify why so many video editors are failing at outreach when it comes to platforms like Twitter. And it all comes down to this one very important thing, and that's that most video editors just kind of suck at copywriting. At the end of the day, as video editors, we spend our time improving our editing skills and improving our actual production, not necessarily focusing on our writing and our DMs. Now, that might kind of make sense because we are selling videos, but at the end of the day, if you're not able to actually promote those videos and sell them well, then you're not going to be able to sign any clients. So crafting your outreach message and crafting your DM is arguably one of the most important parts. Now, if you're looking to skip all of this hassle and just get straight to sending outreach, then you can join my community, the Editor Blueprint Premium. In there, I have tons of guides on exactly how to write a perfectly crafted DM, and I will actually sit down with you one-on-one and help you customize your outreach. So if you're looking to skip out the rest of this video and just go ahead and get straight into sending outreach, then you can join my community with a link in the description. But if you're not quite ready for that, then don't worry, because I'm about to break down some really good outreach methods for you today. So let's get straight into it, and let me break down exactly what a good and bad DM looks like, and how by just watching this video, you're going to be able to stand out from all of the competition in the editing space. So 90% of content creators' DMs on Twitter are going to look just like this. Every single time you post a hiring advert on Twitter, it gets pushed out into the algorithm really aggressively, and you suddenly have like 30, 40, 50, even 100 video editors sending you outreach DMs. And most of them look just like this. They're basic, they're boring, and they are never, ever going to convert. As you can see, it's the same stuff. Hello, Henry. Hey, mate. Sent a link. Hey there. Sent a photo. Looking for a great thumbnail designer. Hello, Henry. Video editors are just disappearing into a sea of other DMs because they don't know how to stand out. Most of them are using cookie cutter outreach methods that ChatGPT has printed out for them, not really knowing how to write a good DM. And if you're new to outreach, then you're probably going to make these same mistakes. And if you don't switch up, you're going to be lost in those DMs as well. It doesn't matter how good your branding is or how good your editing is. If your outreach outreach DM can't convert them to actually click onto your profile, let alone get out of the message requests, then you are never ever going to sign clients. The good news is that 1 out of 10 editors are actually implementing the strategies that I'm about to teach you. So if you're locked in and trying to improve, just know that there isn't that much competition out there. I give away all of this information for free on YouTube in my community, and people still don't listen to me. So if you can sit and focus for the next couple of minutes, you are going to be able to crush your competition in the editing space. So by following this strategy for standing out in the DMs, you're going to be able to stand out and boost your response rate massively. So what do you actually need to do? Well, what's important is the first line. When it comes to sending a DM, you don't need to worry about most of the message. You just need to worry about the first line, because the first line is all content creators are going to be able to see. As you can see, this is all that pops up in the DMs when you get a message request. You can see this first like 5 to 7 words, and if you're just sending a link or sending your portfolio, you're going to disappear inside of that. So making sure that these first 5 words are actually dialed in and actually designed well is extremely important. So let me show exactly how you are going to do that. This is my DM and I'm leaking it for you right now. I sent this DM over 2,000 times on emails, on Instagram, on Twitter, on every platform you can imagine, and it has single-handedly generated tens of thousands of dollars for my agency. If you take a look at it now, let me explain why this actually worked. Well, let's focus on the first line. This first line is very different from anything else that you might see in the Twitter DMs. As you can see, if we look at all of the other examples, it's a lot of sent a photo, sent a link, hey Henry, ready to work for free sometime. That one's actually quite interesting. But anyway, my DM stands out so well because of that first line. In a sea of the same DMs where it's just, hey Henry, sent a link, Blau, almost 460k followers, really stands out. I designed this DM to be engaging from that first line, and that's why it performed so amazingly well. When you look at this DM in comparison to all the others, it's so clear which one stands out. And also, linking back to what I said earlier, that verification badge also makes you stand out. So by simply customizing that first line to stand out and look engaging in the message requests is the first thing that you need to do when it comes to outreach. Now, right now, every single week, I host free calls with all of my community members where I rewrite their DMs for them so they can send better DMs and sign more deals. So if you want to have a chance for me to rewrite your outreach DM and script a whole DM for you, then simply join my Discord below, hop in and join our weekly calls on a Wednesday. Now, the next thing that I'm going to go through is the actual content of the DM itself. So the first thing that you want to do is create that first line, make it hooky and make it exciting. Now, after that, the next thing that we're going to focus on is saying an I help sentence. So we want to say, I'm Henry and I help full-time content creators like you start or scale their YouTube channel with less than 2 hours worth of work per week. So from the second line, this content creator knows exactly who I am and what I do. Then we insert a testimonial. As you can see, I then say, I helped full-time streamer Just Havoc start and scale his YouTube channel to 35k subscribers. The best part, all he had to do was review and approve our work. So in our DM, so far we've said, this is who I am, this is how I can help, and this is who I've done it for in the past. Straight away, my DM is building tons of trust with the potential client because I'm giving examples of what I can do, and then I'm giving examples of where I've already done this same thing. And the final part, I use the loom method. Now, a loom method is a super simple method which I can walk you through in another video, but I simply say, I just recorded a 2-minute loom video showing how I could do the exact same for your channel using our OCF system. Would you be down to watch it? And the final bit of gold that I'm going to drop here for you today is you need to make your DM easy to respond to. The reason this loom video method works so well is simply because the client doesn't need to respond with any details. All the client needs to do is say yes. So the barrier for entry is so low. The client doesn't need to write out a long message and send you sample footage and send you details of the project. They just need to reply and say, yeah, I'm interested. And at that point, we're in the money, because we are no longer in message requests. We are now actually in their DMs. Now, if you're looking for some more info on how to customize your DM to your offer and how to find clients to send it to on demand, then you can join my community, the Editor Blueprint. Here, I give away tons of value weekly, and I help video editors make more money. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then you can join it using the link in the top of the description. But apart from that, I hope you boys have found this video helpful. I hope you found it interesting. And if you are looking for any more help, then simply pop me a message on Discord. Thank you for watching. Drop me a subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and take it easy.